everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, March 18th and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com. First up, there may have been some small panda related activity last weekend, like Friday, Saturday. It's hard to know. There were lots of people doing some small chatter over that weekend throughout Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday as well. It might also be signs that Google's testing something to a limited number of users, maybe the Penguin release or maybe something else. It's hard to know. I don't think it's Penguin related. I think it might be Panda, some Panda tweaks and so forth in the algorithm, which is rolling out as well and constantly rolling out. But again, it's hard to know all these things. There definitely was discussion and signals from the various tools about a possible weekend through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday update. Google announced this week, I think it was Wednesday afternoon, that they are going to go ahead and boost their mobile friendly ranking factor in the beginning of May. Back in, I think, April or so last year, I think I have a date here somewhere, April 21st of last year. Actually, I think it officially went live on the 22nd. When it started rolling out then, they actually launched their mobile-friendly ranking factor in the mobile results that gave a ranking boost to mobile-friendly websites. Back then, it was supposed, everybody was like, oh, it's going to be mobile-getting, mostly because Google said it impacted a lot of sites. Truth is, it didn't seem to have that much of an impact based on a lot of people, what people were reporting, but at the same time, there are some reports that show that did have a significant impact. That being said, Google implied this will have a less of an impact, much less of an impact than the first one, so I doubt this is going to be any get-in, and obviously Google doesn't want us to call it a mobile get-in. That being said, it's going to start in May, beginning of May. It will roll out slowly probably, and it will increase the ranking signal to help our users find even more pages that are relevant and mobile-friendly. Google said two important things in this blog post. If you already made your site mobile-friendly, you will not be impacted by this update. Does that mean you won't be impacted in a positive way or just a negative way? So that's hard to say. I think it says you're okay, you don't have to worry about it, you'll be good. And the intent of this query is that it's still a very strong signal, so even if a page with high quality content is not mobile friendly, it could still rank well if it has great relevant content. So again, non-mobile friendly websites still can rank in the mobile results, do not worry. You can definitely test your site to make sure it's mobile friendly. Gary from Google said, was there anything catastrophic about the first mobile friendly update? If not, I refer to this name, Mobile-Getting. And so forth and so forth. So definitely take a look at this post. I have a link to all the past resources we covered around being mobile friendly and so forth. So hopefully that will help you in early May. Around the mobile stuff, Google announced that on, I forgot the exact date, it's in here, I think it's April something. April 18th, Google will go ahead and ditch their current smartphone user agent, which is using the iPhone, you see over here, iPhone user agent, and switch that to an Android one. Google said, our render evolves over time, and the user agent string indicates that it's becoming more similar to Chrome than Safari. So again, this is Google ditching Apple a little bit more. And also, if you go to the Google's Search Console, you go to the Fetch as Google, you'll see a new feature in there saying, search, make sure your pages are ready for the upcoming smartphone user agent. And that basically, Google said that 99% of websites out there are fine, but if you want to double check to make sure your website is okay, definitely use that and it will tell you if Google can actually access and crawl the website. Google sent out a warning to bloggers who do reviews in exchange for being gifted or getting freebies. And Google basically told them three things. One, no follow those links. Two, disclose that you're writing a review in exchange for a free product. And three, write original, unique content that's useful about the product. You do all those three things, you'll be fine. But Google doesn't want product manufacturers and so forth, or whatever they might be, to go ahead and give freebies to bloggers in exchange for a link. It's kind of like a paid link and so forth. There's a lot of controversy around this. We have 175 comments on there. But either way, I wouldn't be surprised, even some people reported that there's not going to be any manual actions sent out in the near future. I wouldn't be surprised if Google does send out manual actions in the future. Usually that's the case when Google goes ahead and rates these things. So we have a few topics on RankBrain this week, which is unusual because RankBrain's been around for a while, for about a year now. In any event, this morning, Gary from Google said RankBrain may adjust the weights of existing searching. He didn't say it like that, but basically he said, let me show you the tweet. He said basically there's been a lot of discussion over the past week or so about Google and what they understand about RankBrain. Google's Paul Harris said we don't fully understand the RankBrain algorithm. Google's John Mueller said RankBrain does not impact crawling. And I think Gary also said that RankBrain does not replace links. Okay, so now Gary this morning said, all right, let me try this one more time. RankBrain lets us understand queries better. No effect on crawling, nor indexing, or replacing anything in ranking. So Rand Fishkin asks, so RankBrain isn't allowed to use new factors that was previously in the algo, but might re-weight existing inputs? So to the best of my knowledge, he said yes. He doesn't know everything about RankBrain, but basically what he's saying is the query for RankBrain is all about the query. And the query might adjust the query might be help adjust the weights that are used in the current ranking algorithm based on the query. So it's basically Google is using RankBrain for better understanding queries, which might adjust the actual ranking signals, but not changing the ranking signals or add new ones based on that. And again, we discussed that RankBrain doesn't currently impact the crawling of your website. Again, that's something that was pretty obvious, I think, early on, but it was good to clarify. And Gary also said that RankBrain doesn't replace any ranking signals, specifically doesn't replace links, PageRank, and so forth. So we covered that. Okay. This was a very interesting one. It kind of like threw me for a loop. So Google's pretty good at understanding images. Google is pretty good at figuring out faces, mapping people in Google Photos. It's pretty good at figuring out where a picture was taken and what the picture is of. Is it blue? Is it green? Is it the Eiffel Tower? And so forth. So when Gary from Google said no to, could you explain to me if Google's crawler now is able to recognize text embedded in JPEG and GIF? Some say yes, some say no. And Gary said no. It's interesting that these are mine. That Google cannot read this text in an image. I mean, OCR is very old technology. Google's pretty good at it, especially with their book scanning and so forth. I'm surprised that Gary would say that. I don't know if he didn't mean that or if he didn't imply that, but it was interesting to see him say that. Google confirmed that they will use the authority of a site for new pages when they have no other signals to use. So if a new page is out there, Google's not sure how authoritative that page is on that web page, Google may say, let's look at the authority of the whole site and use that towards that new page. Again, nothing conceptually new, but good to have Google say that. Something that is new is Google changed their search analytics in Google Search Console that when you actually pick the last 7 days for the search report, or the 30 days and you bookmark that URL. So you pick, let's say, the last 7 days, or 28 days, or 90 days, and you bookmark that URL. Now it would actually take you to the last 7 days whenever you go to it, as opposed to going to the previous time frame. Let's say you did it today, and then I go to it tomorrow. It's going to use today's last 7 days, as opposed to tomorrow's last 7 days. But now that's going to use tomorrow's last 7 days. If that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. It's now relative, it's dynamic, as opposed to being a static URL. Which could save some people some time if they go to that report a lot. I didn't know this, but starting in February or so, Google started activating this or allowing that if you use the no snippet tag on your pages, that will result in one, obviously, Google not showing snippets for your search results page, in the search results page, but two, you don't have to show up in the feature snippet anymore. This is a way to get your site out of the feature snippet. Again, keep in mind, it would also remove, let's say you're over here, this is the normal search results, it would also remove you from here, that's the feature snippet, that's the no snippet tag. But if you don't want to show in the feature snippet, you could use that also, and it would actually remove you from the feature snippet. Google is opening up trial run ads to search ads, specifically around app streaming. So now if you see an ad, here's a GIF, if it loads. If you click on an ad and it's about an app, it would actually go ahead and stream the app using app streaming. So here's an example, and again, it's really slow. But basically, you do a search, you click on it. We discussed app streaming before. Now it's going to actually be in the Google search ads on the mobile device, which is pretty cool. So here it is in action. Maybe not. I'm going to skip it. But basically, you get app streaming and ads now, which is pretty cool. Google released their HTTPS adoption rate in the transparency report, specifically showing you Google's adoption rate, which is now at about 77% across all Google properties. I think Google News is not one of them, so this shows their graph showing you 70% of Google properties are now encrypted. But also, about 25% or so of the top 100 sites, according to Alexa and Google, across the web are encrypted. So they're getting there, and Google wants to see that increase over time. Google Image Search changed their, actually they've been testing this for a while, and they now have a new filter at the top, which lets you, it's really out there, it's like colored filters. And it doesn't have to be that color, it could be green, it could be show me LeBron James cars, it could be about flowers, show me happy flowers, or blue flowers, so here's blue flowers, or even with guns, like show me paintball guns, or dart guns, or whatever types of guns. And they're showing colorized icons. The Google's been testing this for a while on mobile and desktop. Now it looks like it's officially live, which is pretty cool. And finally, Google's big news this week in terms of product launches was they launched the Google Analytics 360 suite, which is basically replacing their enterprise level Analytics Premium product for Analytics 360. In any event, thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at scroundtable.com over the past week. Everyone have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next. Bye.